tell people if you can figure out how to start it, you know, you can take it for a ride.
But now that's too easy. That's the problem.
There. We can remove, actually we would take the far seat there out and set up a second patient stretcher within a couple of minutes. Where in the Sikorsky it would take like 15 minutes. So the pilots used to set that up while we were taking care of the patient and then bringing him back. Now we can do this on the fly. It's even easier for them to do it on the fly too.
5 aircraft to keep 2
Find lost hikers on the Appalachian Trail because they've been using their phone all day long to talk to people while enjoying nature. And then they get lost. And then they call for help. Where are you, sir? I'm right by. Click. And then we go look. The beam on this thing is amazing. On the very front of it, there's also the FLIR cam. One by one, absolutely. We're very fortunate that we believe that pilots that have strokes or heart attacks are hard to treat from the back. So having two on board is always, you know, in our best interest. Plus, my big ass trying to get through that hole, that's not going to happen. So. We'd have bottles of oxygen to administer to a patient. That would be impractical on an aircraft because the weight of the bottles would just be too heavy, even aluminum bottles. So what we use in that green box there is a liquid oxygen system. It's a round ball, has about 6 liters of liquefied oxygen, so it's very, very cold. And then it can re-expand and then be administered to our patients that way. So.
What do you bring most of your patients? I mean, if you had an accident?
Geographically closest trauma center, so it depends where we are. Yep. If we're on the western part of the state, it might be St. Luke's in Bethlehem. If it's a little north of that, it might be Morristown. If you're east of that, it could be UMD&J Newark. South of that would be Trenton or Robert Wood Johnson. Go deep south, then we're talking about Cooper.
What's the useful load on something like this?
This thing, it depends. Like what we do basically is we go in there, we go in with, it's 14,100 pounds. That's what we can carry. So we'll go in, we go in every day, and it's based on the flight crew, which is what we look at. You know, it's just like an airplane.
Sure,
like that. And then we figure out our fuel amount. So we are carrying like 1,900 pounds today, roughly. So we do it pounds because it's a pound or whatever. So it's just different, but it's basically the same thing. So like our flight today, I think we're at like.
Where'd you get your training?
You don't have to worry about. I mean, like
we take off every time a max goes.
You do so
every single day. Yep. So we have the most amount of fuel, and we're pretty much at max.
So if you fly somewhere, you have to pick up. I don't know.
It gets. That's where it gets. Like,
yeah, you gotta
sometimes we'll leave the engines running, burning fuel while on the ground. Just this thing burns fuel like crazy. So like you burn 100 pounds in like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So,
what's the speed on this thing?
It does like I think it'll do like 167 knots. You know it does. So it goes pretty fast. We fly at like 140 or 150. With all the stuff hanging on the side, it really getting up to 167 is a little tough. But if you could talk to the private guys who fly the same one, with none of this stuff hanging off the sides or the flare, they said it'll go above.
Now, were you a state trooper before you got your private, or after?
While I was driving.
While you were a trooper, you got your private, and then. Okay, cool.
Started when, honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't know much about the Aviation Bureau and State Police. And I worked out in Perryville.
Were you just getting your private just because you wanted to get your private, or with the idea of getting here? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Matter of fact, halfway through, they were talking about privatizing the unit, so
I
stopped training.
Okay.
And then that fell through, so my license.
Cool.